Yo, how's it going? How James Corden destroyed his reputation. Uh, the only way I've heard, how I got it, like the only way I know about James Corden wasn't like karaoke, it wasn't like all this other shenanigans. It was Moist Critical, just just shitting on this dude. I don't know. I think it was because like he made him like take down the video on him, and ever since then, Moist Critical has like this like vendetta to like shit on him and shit.
James
It's
Corden has
hilarious,
slowly
bro.
developed one of the worst reputations in media history, and the foundation for his decline began when people started to realize that James Corden was a completely different person when he wasn't on camera. As an actor and
Okay.
the main host of
Of
The Late
course, like
Late Show,
everyone
James
else.
presents as a
I
happy,
mean, just look at Helen DeGeneres. Like, bruh. Like, come on.
polite, easygoing comedian whose goal is to simply make the audience laugh. Although there's a mountain of evidence showing that in his private life he's the exact opposite to this, with his rude nature developing after he first became famous back in 2008. As a result of his excellent performance on a British TV show called Gavin and Stacey, James would win the British equivalent of an Oscar, although accompanying this award was an ego boost that began to get out of control.
You can start to think you're perhaps a bit more of a dude than you really are. And that very much happened to me. You know, I had a swagger in my walk.
As mentioned, James Corden's sudden explosion
bit
into
more of a
fame led him to
dude.
believe that he was more of a dude than he really was, which would eventually translate into
What?
him treating everyone around him like garbage. James explained that as 2008 wore on, it got so bad I was being rude to my agent, and I even started being rude to Ruth. If I was in company and the conversation wasn't revolving around me, I would just switch off. In addition to being rude to everyone around him, Corden began to live a typically irresponsible, newly famous lifestyle.
I'd started going out quite a lot. This door had opened to this world that I thought looked like fun, where people go, "You're amazing, you're great, can I have a photo? Do you want a drink? Come out with
Okay,
us."
that's
So
cool.
you just end up on this path of just 3 a.m. cab rides with people you don't know, heading across London to someone's house who you don't know either, with a group of people who think it's amazing that you're there. This is an intoxicating thing to be part of.
All of which being
Come on, bro. That's how you end up in a trunk. Like, don't be I just don't get how people do that. Like, I don't get how people be like, I don't know you, like a group of people I don't know, and it's just like go for it and go hang. Maybe because I'm just like, I'm never really out like that. But it's just I have trust issues with that. It's like, bro, if I don't know these people, I don't know their intentions. Like we can have a good time and everything, and then call it a day there at the bar and where we're at. But I'm not about to, like let's keep the party going. Woo! I'm not about to do that. Like I don't want to end up in the back
noticed
of a
by
trunk.
another Gavin and Stacey actor, Rob Brydon, who explained that when he first met James Corden 6 years prior, he was very impressed by him, yet after winning the Oscar award, James Corden was on a roller coaster. This boy from High Wycombe, and he's suddenly enjoying the fruits of his success, and he just
As one
lost his
should.
way for a bit. He was burning the candle at both
But
ends
don't
and
be a
becoming
dick while you're at it.
irritable.
Yeah, that's
James
true.
Corden claimed that his streak of irresponsibility came to an end after attending 18 months of therapy, although even after this, there were
Damn.
still countless examples of him treating people like garbage. For example,
Okay.
James Corden stated in a BBC4 interview that he needed to bully his way to the top of the media world, which can be observed in certain events such as the time he get into a public argument with another incredibly respected
Did this man really bully Patrick Stewart?
actor Patrick Stewart whilst on stage.
When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir.
Okay.
And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it.
After Patrick Stewart would confront James about looking disinterested during the presentation, the argument would escalate in front of everyone.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on.
Damn,
No,
bro, not
seriously, go
Patrick
on.
Stewart.
Okay.
No, go on.
No, bro.
You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go.
See, I'm not surprised he didn't smack him. Like Will Smith smacked Chris Rock for that joke. I feel like Patrick Stewart has the, he has the green light to go ahead and smack this dude. I'd smack him. I'm not gonna lie. Like, bro, are you really, bro? I'm about to show you respect.
which was concluded by James and Patrick bickering in the background while someone else was talking on the microphone.
And now they're just
to
being
cut James
both
some slack,
unprofessional.
Patrick Stewart was probably in the wrong here, considering he was the person who began the argument. Interestingly, after James Corden gave him a very favourable introduction.
What was really confusing about it was I gave him like a massive intro.
Yeah, I know.
I said, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome an actor who's held in such high esteem. Please welcome the brilliant Sir Patrick Stewart. And then he came up
Sir
and did that.
Patrick
Although
Stewart.
James still decided to engage and
great.
clap back with a few jabs of his own, so it's
Yeah.
safe to say that he also had some degree of responsibility.
People don't know how to like pick their spots here, like pick the proper place. You know, like Patrick Stewart obviously could have said this in the back, you know, and it wouldn't have escalated to the point where it was. And you know, James Corden, obviously with the ego, he wouldn't, you know, if Patrick Stewart were to say that, you're just like, oh, well, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just ignore him. No, like you're not about to ignore that. But yeah, they should have picked their spots here. They should have just went to the back, spoke about it, and then called it a day.
There are other examples of
this in,
similar
like,
situations where
front of
James has
TV
acted
is
rudely,
wild.
however, only after being provoked by someone else first. Countless paparazzi videos show James walking through Los Angeles looking quite angry and disinterested, although having a camera involuntarily shoved into your face probably doesn't facilitate the best environment for a good mood. There was also
I mean, just look at how the paparazzi move, bro.
shoved
Like,
into your face
look at this
probably
guy.
doesn't facilitate
And
the
look
best
at this
environment
guy.
for a good mood.
the paparazzi are like the mosquitoes of the human world, bro. They're not necessary. They're just there. You know, I hate paparazzis.
Mood.
Yeah.
There was also the time when Ant and Dec played a prank on James Corden, attempting to make him late for work, although considering they were literally going out of their way to make him angry, James probably gets another pass here. However, when James Corden would post one of the most brutal Reddit Ask Me Anythings in internet history, 3 fan interactions were highlighted, which James had absolutely no excuse for. Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friend sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles plus some others
Look
in
at all the
Mansion
badges.
Legends in London's Chinatown about 6 years ago. We didn't bother you, but you were a massively entitled dick who yelled and treated the wait staff like shit, and when one of my party politely suggested you calm down, you got really aggressive and threatening. So my question is this: why did Harry seem so cool
You can't just go over in a chubby way like a bougie panda. Like a bougie panda. Oh, bro, that's gonna
while
be
you
mine.
were
I'm gonna
such a
take that.
massive
I'm gonna
throbbing
take
bell
that.
end? This post was followed by another which read, I went to a James Corden live
Bougie
recording a while
bandit.
back. He had nearly
That's
zero
comedy.
interaction with the audience before/after the show and was on his phone entirely during commercial breaks. I guess that's his prerogative. He may have been having a bad day. I also realize it must be difficult to be on all the time, but I remember being extremely disappointed. By comparison, I've been to a Jimmy Fallon recording and a Letterman recording, and I can say with full conviction that those guys really seemed like they cared about their audience and worked their hardest to entertain them, even while the cameras weren't recording, which was followed by one final
Oh, okay,
anecdote
that's cool.
reading, massive dick in person. I saw a league of their own filming live. Through multiple tantrums over minor things at the production
Massive
staff,
dick
with him
in
being
person.
incredibly rude to them, which made the other regulars seem very awkward like it was usual. Between each take, the other celebs would be chatting amongst themselves, bantering about. James was glued to his phone. At the end of the
Massive dick
filming,
in
people got
person.
up to go get pictures with
Cool.
James, and he massively kicked off shouting at people to go away and go back to their seats, and the few he did let have pictures with, he was moody as. Seeing him like that made me realize everything you see of his on TV is a complete persona. When continuing on through the AMA,
Yeah, bro,
it
that's
becomes
reality.
pretty obvious as to why James Corden only answered 3 different questions before calling it quits. Why are you, James, such a deeply unpleasant person? Did your parents raise you that way? Have you ever
Damn,
considered
bro.
being funny or likable? James, are you aware that everyone thinks you're a hack and a talentless asshat? With his third comment here relating to the
Ooh.
next reason behind James Corden's decline. Many of his on-screen performances have simply been terrible. A petition requesting that James Corden not
All right, whew. Camera was dying. I mean, laptop was dying. All right, let's continue with the bougie
be
panda.
cast in Wicked the movie gained close to 110,000 signatures, and after Friends announced that James Corden would be hosting the TV show's 15-year reunion, he'd received Twitter responses such as, "Don't get me wrong, I've been wanting a Friends
Never understood the hype for Friends. I never was interested. I didn't even try watching a
reunion since
single episode.
2004, but if someone told me James
Boring.
Corden would be in it, I'd have told them not to bother." James Corden adding the Friends reunion to the list of things he's ruined with his mere presence. Additionally, after starring as the main character in the 2019 film Cats, the movie received a 2.8 out of 10 star rating on IMDb, as well as reviews so awful that James Corden didn't even end up watching the movie himself. However, James
Obviously.
stating that he didn't watch the
At least
movie
he got a
wasn't
bag
the
out of
only
it.
thing that was interesting about this interview, as as he'd also discussed another topic which had turned much of his audience against him, his beef with another talk show host, Bill Maher. In September of 2019, Bill Maher published an editorial about obesity with a
Our food is killing too many of us. Poor diet is leading to the cause of
contents of
mortality
such
and
being
leanness.
discussed on the Joe Rogan
That's
podcast.
facts. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, you can't keep eating as much as you want and as shitty a food as you want. You just can't.
That is
That's
not
facts.
something that anybody wants to hear.
That's
about.
real.
People
That's real.
loved it until James Corden said something.
As mentioned, James Corden
Let's
wasn't too
put
happy
something on
with
the
these
caption.
comments and would call Bill Maher out by making both some reasonable arguments
If making fun of fat people made them lose weight, there'd be no fat kids in schools, and I'd have a six-pack by now.
as well as some awful ones, such as a zero personal responsibility statement that Bill Maher was simply lucky to have a body that burned more calories than him.
We're not all as lucky as Bill Maher, you know? We don't all have a sense of superiority that burns.
Bro, don't. Just don't. I dislike when people be like, oh, well, you burn more calories and whatnot. It's like, like, stop. Just, you're getting fat. You're fat. I admit I'm fat. Like I'm hitting the gym. I'm going to try. I'm going to do something about it. Don't matter if, okay, he burns more calories naturally. Well, then, let's go hit the gym and burn as much calories as we can. Like, let's speed up the process of our burning of calories or something. I don't know. But like, I hate when people be like, well, this person's has a, his body's better than, I forgot the word for it, honestly, but a high metabolism. This guy has a higher metabolism and that's why he's skinny, and it'll stop. Just, no, I disagree with that. Like, bro, as a fat person, I can highly say I'm just being a lazy fuck and I'm being fat. And I'm trying to change that. Obviously, like I'll do what I can. Like I'm trying. Like I'll hit the gym, and I'll burn more calories. I'll do what I gotta do. And fat shaming, okay. If I feel like fat shaming is okay when it comes from people and your friends. Like with if my friend's like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm watching you. You look fat. You look like a goddamn Snorlax right now, bro. You look like a hippo with some jeans on. Like, okay, bro, you got it. You got it. Like, I'm not gonna be mad. But obviously, if you you put a picture on and on Instagram or something, and then out of nowhere, everyone's just like, oh, Fat A McTumbleton over here, or Winnie the Pooh ad. Okay, I get you. But if it's people that and then that they're honest with you, like, hey man, looking fat, you should probably hit the gym, do something about it. Nothing wrong with that. Like, come on.
Burns 35,000 calories a day.
which Bill interpreted as the easy, low-risk way out of the argument.
He missed a great opportunity to literally save lives. He took the easy way out. Of course, you can always get applause for saying, oh, let's boo the mean man who's told the truth. That's not brave.
As is usually the case with these
That
kinds
is
of
not.
topics, there were supporters for both sides of the argument. However, James unnecessarily forcing himself into such a divisive conversation where people already disagree with him was probably a net negative toward his reputation, just like the time his carpool karaoke was outed for being fake. The segment during which James
Oh,
Corden
really?
drives around singing songs with various famous musicians was called out by a user on Twitter in early 2020 after they noticed Justin Bieber and James Corden in a car, which wasn't being driven but rather being pulled on a trailer. The video would rack up over 14 million views, which prompted an incredibly hilarious
Come on, though. Like, eyes on the road. Like, are you telling me you're gonna have a sing along while driving for real? I kind of did. I expected that thing to be fake. I don't like. I never knew it was fake, but I kind of expected. Like, I had a thought because it's like, bro, have you ever been driving? If you're driving, man, and some asshole just swerves into you, or you're not gonna be just singing la di da da. It's just not real for me. Like, come on, man.
response from James Corden himself.
And especially in California, my boy, those Californians cannot drive. Like, that's just a fact. Like, bro, they just bust in there without a care in the world.
In which he would go ahead and debunk the claim that the series had been faked.
95% of the time, I really am endangering the lives of the world's biggest pop stars. Here is a list of every carpool karaoke where I've used a tow, and this is a list of every one where I was driving the car, okay?
However, while Corden did a pretty good job
I
of
don't
debunking
agree.
his claims, there are still countless comments on every carpool karaoke from people who never saw the debunk calling the videos fake. This all feels so fake when you know he's not actually driving. Fake news, James isn't actually driving. James Corden, stop cheating people with your carpool karaoke. Can't believe all these celebrities put up with this fake show. Next time at least drive the damn car. It seems like even when James Corden is in the right, his audience selectively decides that he's still in the wrong, which has also been speculated as part of the reason behind his recent announcement that he's leaving the public spotlight. On the
Leaving
29th of
late
April
night show.
2022, James Corden would upload a video to his YouTube channel titled James Corden Discusses His Late Night Future, in which he'd announced that he'd only be hosting the show for one more year.
I've decided to sign for one more year on the show, and that this will be my last year hosting the Late Late Show.
In a different interview, James Corden specified that his motive for leaving the entertainment industry was to spend more time with his family.
I don't want to do it forever. We're a really long way away from home, and we're a really long way away from people who are getting older, and we're a really long way from them if something should ever happen, and that plays on my mind a lot.
However, many have
Well,
speculated that
that's
being such a
honest
disliked
there.
celebrity has put an unbearable amount of pressure on him, which becomes especially obvious when looking at the comments regarding his retirement. James Corden is a talentless bag of garbage. Goodbye,
Damn.
good riddance. Finally, we don't want him anymore. Ruins everything he's involved in. Probably one of the most annoying people in the business, it seems.
Ruthless.
Please don't come back to the UK. Please don't come back to the UK. Please don't come back to the UK. With each of these comments being accompanied by flattering articles such as, "Farewell, James Corden, you were an asshole."
Oof. Yo. I mean, I feel bad. I'm starting to feel a little bit bad for James Corden. They're ruthless on him. Then again, if you're acting like an egotistical asshole, then I mean, there's only so that I can only feel bad for you for so much, you know. Like it's just how it is. Like, hopefully, at least like he gets a nice like deflated ego over there. He gets a nice little, I don't know. I'm not gonna be the guy that's gonna be like, man, still fuck him when that's not me. I wish this did the best, you know. Like I should. Even if he's an asshole, I just wish him the best.